Farron Fronczak is a journalist and radio host, but she's much more than that. She's a very good friend of mine, and she will be central to Moats America when we can launch it. And in preparation for that, she has been digging away, mining the Twitter files, which most of us, let's face it, don't have the time to do. Some don't have the inclination. I have the inclination, but not the time. Farron had both, and I'm glad she's joined us now to tell us about one or two of the nuggets that she has found there. Farron, welcome back, as always, to the mother of all talk shows. These Twitter files that Matt Taibbi and others are writing up, with the cooperation, of course, of Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter, who's opened the books, basically, though I'm sure not entirely all of them, at least yet. And what we are finding in these books is pretty horrifying, isn't it?
You know, I would say that, George. I mean, but at the same time, it's horrifying, but it's not something that we didn't think that we would see. Basically censorship coming from all angles, from the Hunter Biden laptop story to even media having a hand in it, to even all the way up into the upper echelons of the FBI. So it's nothing really surprising that we're seeing. However, one thing that we are seeing here, there's a group of creators and journalists here in the United States that are starting to actually see censorship again on Twitter under the direction of Elon Musk. It's the latest thing that's happening. You're having a number of creators that are being censored for frivolous reasons, especially one of them in particular. It is an activist, a survivor activist of human trafficking, who is going on the rampage on Twitter and banning anybody that basically asks her questions about her life story. She goes by the name of Eliza Blue, and she became prominent on the scene because of the Twitter files, particularly when it came to child sex trafficking or child porn that was found on Twitter. You had a case a few years ago of a John Doe where it was a 13-year-old where his images were put online via Twitter. They tried to appeal it to take it down, and he was exploited, and Twitter came back with the answer of, we're not going to take it down. So she was very instrumental in helping Elon Musk see a lot of that, especially in these Twitter spaces. But now you have a number of people that have been asking about her past, particularly that she's appeared in rap music videos in scantily outfits, that she goes by a number of different names from her past, that she has, as you could say in the United States, as we say here, like grifting for money for certain things. So people called in a question on Twitter, hey, what's this about? Could you clarify this? And she immediately went on the rampage. She obviously took it to Twitter. They've started banning accounts. They ban anytime you put up the music video that she happens to appear in. They take it down. They either ban you. So this is something that's starting. It's starting small, George. But the fact that nobody in the mainstream media here in the United States is picking this up is honestly shocking, because you're having basically a meet the new boss, same as the old boss kind of situation going on with Twitter right now.
Well, that's certainly true in my case. My case against them in the Irish courts is proceeding. It will reach a very important juncture in February, just a few weeks from now, in mid-February. I have to go and swear an affidavit and so on. And we get no answers and certainly no action from Twitter, though what their defense is going to be now is almost impossible to discern, because Elon Musk has himself revealed the massive corruption in the relationship between Twitter at the top before he arrived and the deep state in the United States and in other countries. So I'm not sure how they're going to defend my case. I might have to settle for a fleet of Teslas, not the Mr. and Mrs. 2 that I was originally looking for. But the censorship has eased in some regards, but has tightened in others. And in still others, it's neither here nor there. So our friend Garland Nixon is banned today, banned tomorrow, back again the next day, back for another day, banned again. Ditto Scott Ritter and many others. It's as if there's not a steady hand on the tiller. Perhaps when Musk's there, things get better. When he turns his mind to his other businesses or his 9 children, perhaps, the cat's away, the mice start to play again. What's your take on that?
Well, and that's just the thing, George, and that's why I think the mainstream media really isn't touching it, especially the likes of like Fox News, who was like glorifying it. He was like the second coming of Jesus for when he took over Twitter. And now you see that like nobody is touching this censorship issue. And it basically is, again, like that meet the new boss, same as the old boss situation, where if you happen to be close to the CEO or close to the manager, you're able to get certain things done the way you see fit. And that's the one thing that a lot of people that are really free speech fighters here, including, those that are very pro Julian Assange, which this activist actually, who's now going on and banning everybody, she actually showed up at Julian Assange rallies and was saying that she was pro free speech. And now it's turned around to where, oh, wait, if I don't like something that you say about me, I can get you banned. Or if you put out a video about me, I can get you banned. And that's where a lot of these smaller creators, even some large ones too, that have 1.4 million followers, like a kid named The Quartering, banned because they reposted this stuff. And people are asking and shaking their heads like, wait a minute, Elon, weren't you the beacon of free speech saying that how everybody had a voice in all of this? And now the fact that somebody that's tied to you or that you have a close relationship with, now they can go on the rampage and start banning people. It doesn't make sense. And that's where, again, so the likes of like a Fox News or, OAN or, The Blaze or all these other Republican outlets that should be picking up on this aren't even touching it, because I think a lot of it is that they don't want to get Elon upset or they don't want to make anybody mad, or it's kind of that, we don't want to get censored too. And so really, what's the difference between Jack Dorsey and Elon Musk at this point? And a lot of haters will say like, oh, well, they're going after Elon Musk. That's why this is all happening. Nobody want, they want to, everybody's on the rampage to go against Elon Musk. Well, you said it was going to be totally different when you signed on. I get that sometimes writing code takes a bit of time, and the algorithm, he even said that he would probably have to blow up the algorithm because it was so inundated with all these restrictions. However, we're starting to see the same things again. And it's like, and mind you, this story of this activist and her past, whatever it may be, they're hiding it the same way they did the Hunter Biden laptop story. And that's one of the things that this small group of both people on the right and the left are like, what's going on here? We need answers, and we're not getting any.
Fascinating. Finally, Farhan, speaking of that kind of thing, amazingly, maybe this only happens in America, it wouldn't happen here, the convicted child trafficker and abuser, Ghislaine Maxwell, gave an interview on British television. Well, internet television owned by Rupert Murdoch, Talk TV. I wasn't sure how she managed to do that and what the import of what she had to say was. My heart breaks for her as a vegan in the the difficult dietary situation in the pen. But it seemed like her main purpose was to give a free pass, a get out of jail card, metaphorically, to Prince Andrew. What was your take on all that?
I think a lot of people here in the United States, you have people that are either completely obsessed with the monarch, whether in regards to the whole Meghan Markle, Harry situation, but then looking at this instance, like with Prince Andrew, as you say, and Ghislaine Maxwell saying that she wanted to do that. I mean, Americans are looking at this like, wait a minute, there's so many Americans still here that have questions about Epstein Island. What was going on with that? But I think more of the biggest bombshell is that Ghislaine Maxwell was basically saying that she thinks that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. You have a lot of Americans that still want to ask and have questions answered, but we're just not getting those answers. And I think Americans are at a point now where when we don't get answers from our government and it's just sit down, hush, hush, we're going to take it from here. You have a lot of Americans now that are just really fed up, to be frank. You were talking to the one and only Jimmy Dore, Chicago's very own. I'm a Chicagoan myself. And, when you don't get these answers, that's when you have to take it to the streets. And that's where I think a lot of people, we have this big anti-war rally coming up here in February, which I'll be at here in DC. But I don't even think it's also anti-war. I think it's going to be anti-censorship, anti a bunch of other different things, because Americans just aren't getting answers, and we're being told to sit down and be quiet. And again, the big oligarchs here, they say that there's Russian oligarchs. We got oligarchs right here too, baby. And they're telling us that, that they know better than we do. So just, take it or leave it. And Americans are just fed up, really.
Well, Jimmy was not so much on fire this evening as going nuclear, and he's already raging against the war machine, and I'll be there in spirit with you at the Lincoln Memorial. Thank you, Farron.
Amazing.
Stay in touch. Keep mining those Twitter files for us, because we'll need you.